Good morning. Welcome to the absolute worst start to any ride. I am, meant to be doing 400k today, and I've royally messed up. I messed up on two parts, so God knows why the route's taking me up here. It's just like steps and really steep cobbles. And another thing, I haven't brought enough clothes because when I checked the forecast, it said it was going to feel like 11, like feels like 11. And my wahoo is saying it's currently 4 degrees and I'm freezing, so this is where I'm going. I'll catch up with you when I'm on the road. Should I start this video again? I think we should now. We're back on the road. Greetings to another video. Yeah, so basically I'm doing a 400k loop. I always say loop because it's not an out and back, I guess. But yeah, it's 5 AM. Hopefully the sun is just about coming up. God, it was so cold. I've learnt my lesson there. Don't always rely on the forecast. Time to get up a climb. And yeah, I'll explain why I'm doing this 400 when I'm not on the climb. When I was cold and pushing up there, you're like, why am I doing this? It's ridiculous. And then you see views like that and then you're like, oh, this is why I get up early. So it's up the first climb of the day. It's quite a big climbing day. But we know I like the climbs. It is warm. And then I'm on, I think it's called Trapping Hill at Loft House. Bloody hell. That is a tough little climb. I've still got about 1 kilometre left of it to do. So if that's your local climb, you got some good training to do, because that is tough. And it's 22 degrees now. How has it gone from 5 to 22? Someone said in my last video, typical northerner, moans when it's cold and moans when it's hot. I would have to agree. Right, I want to go so I can get to the top of this bloody climb. Look at that for a downhill. I was coming through this little town, a little village, and there's a market on. There's loads of traffic backed up, and this woman had like blocked the road to go into this car park that they were queuing to get into. So I've gone in front of her car to get around. There's plenty of space too, and as I've gone in front of her car, she's just started driving at me, and the back of the bike is like under the front of her car, and she can see me. And she was an old woman. She must have been 80 odd, and I was just like, whoa, stop, what are you doing? And she carried on. She looked at me and carried on. I was like, I'm so mad. And then like I've looked, I don't think there's any damage to the bike, but the tyre is all like gashed from it being under the freaking car, like scraped it. Anyway, and now I've got a bloody 25% climb Sutton Bank. Didn't realise that was on the route, so hopefully the tyre lasts, because it's got a big cut in it now. I mean, it's just a bike, no one's hurt, but just from someone not paying attention or just being deliberately nasty. Anyway, I'm gonna head up the climb. Look at it. I'm not sure how, but I got up it. Jesus, that was so tough. I think it's because the road's quite busy. I wouldn't necessarily plan to go up there again. So that is Revo. That's kind of why I'm doing this route today, for basically all points north. It's about 1,000k self-supported kind of event with checkpoints, control points, and that's one of them. And so I'm just coming to have a little look at what it was like, where it was. And I know there's some hills around it, so yeah, I'm heading this way. I may have had a little route malfunction again. I mean, it's the route that I chose, but it's very gravelly and quite steep, so I'm like, and then it actually goes onto a track, not even a bloody road, so it's too far back to reroute, I think, so I'm just gonna push on. Oh, God. I'm gonna be honest with you, I can't fake stuff. I don't feel very well. basically when I got back from that gravel event, literally when we got back, I got back to the car and I ate some cereals with some oat milk that I'd opened before we'd even set off, and I think it had gone off. Long story short, I got back and I was sick all day Tuesday, like in bed, like throwing up. I was not in a good way, and ever since then I've not really been able to eat much all week, and so I've not eaten anything today. I've literally just been drinking sugar in a water bottle because I just can't stomach anything, and it probably is ridiculous that I'm even contemplating riding the distance I'm going to do when I've not been very well and I'm not really eating. But I'm just going to ride and see how far, can't even speak, see how far I get. If I get to, so I'm aiming for Whitby and then back. If I get to Whitby, lovely. If I don't, I don't. If I get home, I get home. I mean, I'm gonna get home, but it's just whether I get home by my own legs. Oh shit, where am I going now? Oh God, they're my options. Muddy path, muddy track. And it might be a wrong turn, but look how pretty this is. I think sometimes I definitely do this. You get so into like, oh, I've got to get the route, I've got to do this. And like, I've got to get back on the road, I need to get here, and like actually just forget to just stop and look around at how beautiful this is. I can't grumble. I've got food in my bag. It doesn't matter if I get back in a day, 2 days. I mean, I'm not going to be doing it 2 days, but you know what I mean? There's no rush for me to get back. So I'm just going to enjoy whatever this ride brings, whether that's 400, whether that's 150, which we're at now, or whether it's 200. Just do whatever's, just enjoy it. I feel better now to talk to you about that. Isn't it weird? Like, I feel like I've been bottling up. I'm trying to like make out like, oh, like I'm really like, oh, I feel great, and actually I've just got a dodgy tummy. Not pooping her out, but like, I don't know, it just feels a bit off. I'm like, normally I can eat pretty well. I'm just not really fancying anything. So, let's see how we get on today. How pretty. I could probably ride this now, but I don't want to because of the whole tyre thing. I'm literally just sat at the end of that pathway, eating me homemade bar, and I feel so much better already. Let's see where the ride takes us then. It sounds really bizarre, but I do feel so much better just for talking to you about it. And it sounds bizarre because I kind of imagine you behind the camera. So thank you. It's appreciated. Oh. So classy. I am feeling so much better. Maybe it's just because I'm like out in like the sticks again. Like, I just love being out in this. But I'm surprised that I feel better. I thought maybe I'm gonna feel worse, but I've done I think it's 200k and 3,000 meters. So the second half should be a lot steadier, hopefully. So I'm almost at Whitby. I think I've got another, well, I've just come down on 18%, so I'm guessing I'm going straight back up one to get up to Whitby over there. Oh, I can see the Abbey! Apologies, I went to the Whitby front and it was so cold. I was like, I'm not sitting here. It was pretty, but it was cold. So I'm sat outside. You can see it's Spa. I've got some water, a little bottle of orange juice and a packet of crisps. But it's going well, it's going well. It's very pretty. And I think most of the big climbs, there's a huge climb out of Whitby, which you'll probably know if you've been to Whitby. It is a monster. This is really not a good look, is it? Jesus, look at my hair. So I am 100, I bloody hope not, 270 or so K in, so about 130, in fact it's probably 130, 150, I'm not really sure because I've deviated off the route a little bit. But most of the big climbs, and there's one big one at the end, so I'm just kind of just plodding along, although I have just been like laid on the floor outside this bus stop. just because, oh Jesus, because it's nice just to just take the weight off and just have a little lie down. Although I was coming up with really steep climbs, there's a mountain bike, I can't think, a motorcyclist at the top, and he was just like faffing around, and I was like, oh, it's easier on one of them, innit? And he went, nah, I'd swap you any day of the week, I'm getting a sore back. I thought, you're getting a sore back? You got a bloody engine on that. Like, if there's another thing that can go wrong, now I'm having to navigate with my Wahoo upside down because I'm trying to charge it. Oh, God. The sun is setting. It is a very pretty sunset, but I thought I'd just share with you 2 things that I really like using when I'm riding in the dark through the night. The first one is these glasses. These are, I always get asked about them, they're Oakley Jawbreakers, but they've got, I think it's is it photochromic or photochromatic? I can never remember. Basically they go light and dark depending on how bright it is. So in the dark they're basically just clear. So, and then in the day you don't have to change your glasses because you've got them, then they go darker. Does that make sense? And the other thing is my light. This is an Exposure Strada. This is an awesome light. I am sponsored and supported by Exposure, but this is why I love it. So on the back there, you can see there's loads of different settings, but it tells you how many hours and minutes are left on that particular setting, so that you're never going to get caught out in the dark without a light, and it's just a phenomenal light. So I want to get going, and oh God, I look like a right mess, don't I? Jesus. So yeah, I think I'm tending not to look actually at the, what are we at? 325k, 4,204 meters climbed. It has been pretty flat for a while, but I think it's going to start kicking back up again. So let's do this. I'm surprised actually that I've lasted this long, because I felt rough all week, and this morning I was like, I was going to pack it in. There were so many times I was like, I'm just going to go home, like I don't feel good. So I'm pretty glad that I am this far around. So it's 9:30, and probably got another, what, 4 or 5 hours? Whatevs. I'm back when I'm back. This looks crap on GoPro, but it looks beautiful in real life. I've just done, you can't even see me, I've just done my last climb, and I've got about 15k to do. So whoop whoop. I've got my little treat. This is what I always do after a big ride. I never have these any other time apart from after a long Audax. Normally it's when it's like a 400k. I am at it's going to be about 420k and 5,339 meters. It's ridiculous. So I just wanted to come on and just say goodbye, really. Not goodbye, that sounds very final, but like, I was ready to get back, to be fair, but I feel alright, strangely enough, especially how rough I felt earlier. I'm showered, the pot noodle is cooking. I say cooking, it's just soaking in hot water. And yeah, I'm glad to be clean and in bed. Especially because I genuinely, at the start, I didn't think that I was going to do it all. I didn't particularly feel well, but I guess the more I rode, the better I felt, I guess. Although towards the end, my hands are a little bit sore. I think it's just because there was so much steep climbing. I was out of the saddle for so much of the bloody day. So, right, I'm going to go because I'm sleepy and I want my pot noodle. So, thank you so much for watching. If you've got any questions about doing rides of this length, leave them in the comments. I am also going to be doing a video on what I do the day after, so I'm going to film tomorrow what I do like post big ride. I have a little couple of things that I do. Right, I'm going to go. Thank you so much again for watching. See you next video. Oh. Look at the state of this shit.